In today's episode, we will discuss power, authority, and legitimacy. Hello and welcome. First, let's talk about power. Power is considered to be the central concept of political science because, of course, everyone knows politics is all about power. We generally know what power is. Power is understood as an ability of a person to influence the behavior of others and get them to follow one's will. So power is primarily viewed as a relational concept. Power is always in relation with others. A single isolated person cannot have power. It is often understood as power over someone. Power is basically the capacity to make others do whatever one wants despite their resistance. For example, there are two persons, Ramesh and Suresh. Here, power is often defined as Ramesh's ability to make Suresh do something which he doesn't want to do. That is the power of Ramesh over Suresh. Imagine there is a bully in school who is physically strong. He can make the smart kids in his class do his homework against their wishes. He can do this because he is physically stronger than others and can intimidate them to follow his orders. So, in short, power is an ability to get desired results despite resistance from others. Take another example from our households. In a typical family setting, the older people in the house, say parents or grandparents, can make the children follow certain rules or discipline despite their unwillingness. So, there could be some rules such as not watching television while eating, not using the smartphone for more than 1 hour during exam period, or finishing all the food served on the plate, etc. etc. Many a times, children do not like to follow these rules, but they have to. This is the power of the parents over their children. So, in this sense, power is an ability to influence the behavior of others. There are various bases of power, such as wealth, age, physical strength or muscle power, intellectual capacity, connections with the mighty and powerful people, etc. etc. These act as basis of influencing the behavior of others. Now, there are two manners in which this influence works. One, where the influence is imposed through force or coercion on others, and second, where the influence is willingly accepted by others. So, while the first kind of influence by force or coercion is known as power, the second type, where power is willingly accepted by others, is known as authority. So, now let's talk about the second concept in today's discussion, that is authority. Authority is a particular form of power where power is willingly accepted or consented to. It is assumed that the power holder has the legitimate right to exercise the power. Here, the power is not forced upon or imposed on the others, but the others willingly accept the exercise of power. That is known as authority. Imagine, in our earlier example of Ramesh exercising power over Suresh, if Suresh willingly accepts the power of Ramesh to give orders to him, maybe because he is the monitor of the class or because he is his boss in office, then Ramesh not only just has power but has authority to give orders to Suresh. Okay? Let us take some more examples. A democratically elected government makes rules for the citizens. The citizens, in majority of cases, follow these rules without the need of any force because they believe that government which they have elected has the authority to make rules and govern their behavior. They have already given their consent to be governed by the government. So the government can make it mandatory for all the citizens to get an Aadhaar card, or the municipal government can decide that all the two-wheeler riders must wear a helmet, or the government can ban smoking in public places, or the government can decide to wage a war on an enemy country and command its military forces to join the war. All these decisions are regarded as lawful decisions because the government has the authority to make these decisions. Questions can be raised or even protests can happen against some of the government's decisions in a democracy. But the government's legitimate right to take the decisions is accepted by all. For example, there was a lot of uproar against the 3 farm laws. Thousands of farmers participated in the protests against the laws and make the government take the laws back. Still, the authority of the government to make the laws through legislature is not questioned. Do you get my point? Okay. So in short, authority is legitimate power. In a sense, the power of parents over their children, or the power of the teachers over their students, the power of the boss over their employee, power of captain over his team, and of course, the power of the government over its citizens can be called as authority because this power is regarded as legitimate or right. Those on whom this authority is exercised willingly obey its commands. There is a certain legitimacy to the exercise of this type of power. This brings us to the third concept in today's discussion, legitimacy. Legitimacy literally means to be lawful or legal. It indicates a quality of being appropriate or right which convinces people to give their consent to something. Legitimacy means willful acceptance or consent. There are many grounds or factors behind considering something as right or appropriate, such as moral, ethical, constitutional, legal, being good, in public interest, or for the welfare of people, etc. For example, certain personalities do not have any legal or constitutional authority, but they can be moral leaders of the society. Mahatma Gandhi, for example, wielded moral authority as the leader of India's independence movement. Ghastly communal riots had broken out in the country on the eve of independence due to partition, which killed about 1 million of people. In those gruesome times, Mahatma Gandhi, instead of participating in the celebrations of independence, went to the riot-hit areas in Bengal and tried to bring peace. Governor General Lord Mountbatten had praised Mahatma Gandhi by saying that he, as the one-man boundary force, could achieve peace in Bengal, which was not possible even with 55,000 soldiers in Punjab. Mahatma Gandhi didn't have any legal constitutional authority then, but he could stop the worst kind of communal riots and influence the behavior of people by leading them to peace sheerly with the help of his moral standing. This morality or ethical conduct can be a factor behind legitimacy. In modern period, legal constitutional basis of legitimacy have become quite important. The democratically elected governments enjoy legal constitutional legitimacy because they come to power through legal constitutional means. Religious leaders or community leaders also enjoy legitimacy on account of doing good for the community or catering to the welfare of the people. Their power over the masses also has a certain kind of legitimacy. So basically, legitimacy gives a valid basis to the exercise of power. Therefore, power plus legitimacy becomes authority. Power without legitimacy can be called as brute force or coercion. It is not considered right or just. But the power with legitimacy becomes a legitimate, just and right kind of power, which is called as authority. I hope you have understood the concepts of power, authority and legitimacy and the difference between them clearly. If so, let me know in the comment section. When a police officer uses force on a criminal, is it power, authority? Do let me know. Thank you for watching and see you.